Seminole Nation has taken over Orlando. Garnet and gold clad fans are everywhere on an absolutely beautiful day here in the City Beautiful. Fans of all ages packing the Orlando Citrus Bowl, making their way inside to get their very first look at this 2016 Seminole squad. It's an FSU team that went 10-3 a year ago, but has ambitions to make it back to the college football playoff here in 2016. Greetings from the beautiful Orlando Citrus Bowl, and welcome to the FSU Spring Game, Garnet and Gold, on a gorgeous afternoon here in the Central Florida area. Tom Block and former Nole Keith Jones with you. And Keith, spring football is about getting fundamentally sound, about the coaches tinkering with different players, really finding out who can play, and most notably, Florida State needs to find out who can play quarterback.
All eyes on that quarterback position. Sean McGuire, who started in the bowl game, out, has not participated in spring because of surgery. Therefore, the focus is on DeAndre Francois, J.J. Cosentino, and the freshman Malik Henry. We'll see all three this afternoon.
The quarterback competition continues momentarily, but there's 21 other positions up for grabs as well. And we will kick off the festivities from the 2016 FSU Spring Game right after this. From the Orlando Citrus Bowl, Tom Block, Keith Jones. We'll say hello to Scott Koenig momentarily as the teams Garnet and Gold have taken the field. And we get our first look at the 2016 Seminoles. Great crowd on hand. Really has been a terrific weekend for Florida State University here in the Orlando area. The Marching Chiefs on hand. Osceola and Renegade as well.
Remind our viewers that the reason that Florida State is in Orlando is because of some extensive renovations going on at Doak Campbell Stadium, an $80 million plus project. And come a little south and participate in Orlando. You see the game captains, as it were.
That's an army of captains for both the Gold and the Garnet. But some familiar faces out there, including DeMarcus Walker and Bobo Wilson, Izzo and Kermit Whitfield, Derwin James, Nate Andrews leading the troops for the Garnet. The referee for today's action is Ron Cherry.
See big number 72 Kareem R there on the right hand side, and the Garnet as well. There's your coin toss.
And there is a look at Coach Fisher, who is decidedly neutral today as he's going all gray.
All
in the
gray.
Garnet Gold.
I thought that when he came out, I thought that was quite Switzerland-like for Jimbo. And he'll spend the majority of his time on the field, so we'll have an opportunity to see him. He'll normally line up behind the offense. Whoever has the offense, he'll line up behind them about 20 yards away. Wants to make sure he's got a real good look at what's going on that offensive side of the ball.
Of course, Jimbo getting set for his 7th season as head coach at Florida State, and has had a tremendous start to his career as a head coach, including a national championship, a college football playoff appearance, last year an appearance in a New Year's Six bowl game. The Gold Squad coaches are Lawrence Dawsey, Bill Miller, Odell Higgins, and Jay Graham, so they split the coaching staff as well.
And we should establish that these teams were actually picked by a select group of seniors. They went through a draft. They took each position and they alternated picks. So this is not ones versus twos and twos versus ones. This is a true split. And in that regard, I can almost assure you, Jimbo, not necessarily wanting it that way, but allowing the kids to have it the way they wanted it. You would much prefer to have all 5 of your offensive linemen, all 4 of your defensive backs on the same team, but opting to be a little more creative and let the kids have a little more fun. This is now a split group. Tim Brewster, Charles Kelly, Brad Lawing, Randy Sanders, and Rick Trickett make up the Garnet coaches.
And we saw a little smile on the face of Jimbo Fisher. There hasn't been a lot of that this spring. He has ridden this team hard, and many feel it's because this team has great potential, and he wants to squeeze every drop of that potential out of them.
That and the fact that they candidly were disappointed in their performance in the Peach Bowl against Houston. He did not like the way the kids performed, and consistency and toughness have been the two overarching themes during the spring, and he has Jimbo, relentless.
Kickoffs are not live. Well, I beg your pardon, as they take it and breaking left, and now
somebody forgot to tell them.
Somebody forgot to tell them. They'll blow the whistle, and the Gold will go to work offensively. The kickoff duties handled by an Aguayo, but no longer the elder statesman.
Starts with an R, though, right?
It's Ricky Aguayo that is in the battle to take over for his brother in terms of place kicking chores. Let's get a first look at this Gold squad. And
Ryan Green, by the way, on that kickoff return.
It'll be DeAndre Francois on our first look here at a guy that, by all accounts, apparently has moved a little bit ahead in that quarterback battle, but Jimbo Fisher has been very tight-lipped about that, and he's throwing on the first play of the game, and it is incomplete.
Great coverage on the outside by Tavares McFadden. He is one of the defensive backs right there, number 4, filling in that role that Jalen Ramsey played all of last year. 6'2", 201 pounds, and great expectations for this kid, Tommy. Appeared in just seven games last year, but the upside is huge for McFadden.
So second down for the Seminoles, and a slip by Ryan Green, who has bounced from running back to defensive back and back to running back in his Florida State career.
This is artificial turf, prescription turf, non-natural turf. A very good surface when I was down on it earlier today, but the feet come out from under Green.
Technically AstroTurf Game Day Grass 3D, which allows for versatility here at the Orlando Citrus Bowl. Which
thanks for correcting me.
Hosts, I was just adding to what you said. Francois back again, looking downfield, and his first completion, a first down and more, up near midfield goes Auden Tate. A big target there, and FSU fans have wanted to see a big target in the receiving corps. Well, here's one.
Little post route by Tate. Huge. 6'5", 218, 220 pounds. Sophomore out of Irmo, South Carolina. Great delivery by Francois. Nice route by Tate.
22-yard completion for the first down. This time Francois will give it to Green. Can't shake free as he tried to bounce it to the outside. That's Nick Patty, a linebacker from Fairhope, Alabama, that drags him down.
Redshirt sophomore Patty, 6'1", 222, hasn't seen any action, live action, during the regular season, but comes up nicely and makes an open field tackle on Green on that play. Bring up second and long.
Francois, one of 3 scholarship quarterbacks we'll see today, with Sean McGuire out and the quarterbacks off limits with the green jerseys. And another completion, and across the 50, nearing the 45.
And write that down. That's the first one of those you've seen in his career. Who's that?
Chris Kasher.
That's Kasher. Nice delivery by Francois. Watch him throw him back outside. Kasher turns inside. The ball's delivered back outside so he can easily turn and get upfield. They pick up 10 of the 12 yards they need. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
That was Xavier Hurge, a sophomore from Coral Springs, with the tackle. So 3rd and short, perhaps 4 down territory here as we're just underway. Opening drive of the 2016 Garnet Gold game here in Orlando, and our first flag of the day, as there was movement prior to the snap.
First chance to see and hear from our referee, Ron Cherry, out of the Atlantic Coast Conference.
A year ago, Francois was the leader of the scout team for Florida State. So compared to to the freshman Malik Henry, he's got another year under his belt in terms of acclimating to FSU. Now it's 3rd and 7. Need to get to the 43. Looks left, and now with a chance to run, and this is an element that he brings to the table as he will keep going all the way to the 20-yard line. They're going to whistle it around the 25. It's always unfair when there's a green jersey on a quarterback with mobility, but that was a pretty gaping hole for him to run through.
Tackle football becomes two-hand touch. You see him look to his left, back to his right, nobody open. He tucks it, and away he goes. And that's a little bit of the versatility that he brings that has this coaching staff excited as well. They want him to stay in the pocket and throw the ball, but in those situations where he does have to bring it down, he's got some athleticism.
2 for 3 through the air for 34 yards. And a long scramble there. Here he'll hand off to Green, turns the corner and fights for first down yardage, or close to it. A little bit shy as he is bumped out of bounds.
Ryan Green has been bounced around a little bit. Started at running back, was moved back over to the defensive side. Now he's back on the offensive side. Blazing speed, which is one of the reasons they want to get the ball in his hands. Just a tad under 6 foot, goes about 205, but extremely fast is Ryan Green. Redshirt junior out of St. Petersburg.
Of course, Dalvin Cook not available today, so you're going to see a lot of Green and Jacques Patrick. We've got 2nd and short now. Gold driving, big hole for Green, and he is inside the 10, 9, 8, down to the 8 or 7 yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Gold Squad.
Nice job up front by that Gold offensive line. Left-hand side, they get an inside block and then turn back outside. That's Rick Leonard, number 76, the former defensive end that's been moved over to the right tackle position.
This time they'll sweep to the right, trying to get the edge, and knocked out of bounds just shy of the pylon by Derwin James. And you could hear it up here as we mentioned Derwin's name for the first time.
Steady diet of Ryan Green, this time to his right. See James, who is known as a ferocious hitter. Number 3 right there in the garnet. An all-star just waiting to happen, Tommy.
2nd and goal, and a little love for the fullback, but not much traction as Colton Plant gets planted.
Plant wanting to get into the end zone and make his Orlando family happy. He's right here from the City Beautiful. Another look at James. Size, strength, and more than anything else, Tom, he has a nose for the football. 2nd on the team in tackle last year. Haines City native had 91 stops.
A true sophomore with football intellect and a good leader for this team already. So on the play action, and that is going to be picked off in the end zone. Nate Andrews, the senior, with a little lesson for the redshirt freshman on that pass. And so a promising Gold Squad goes awry as Francois forces this one.
Trying to get the ball to Izzo, underthrew it slightly. You got to throw that ball away, up and away. Give Ryan an opportunity to catch it, otherwise nobody catches it. And that's your youth, and that's what you've got to work through. Great performance, mistake, no points.
In the red zone, a turnover will step aside scoreless as we are just underway in Orlando with the 2016 FSU Spring Game. Yards passing on that first drive, but a forced throw here, KJ.
Nice job by Andrews to undercut that little out route by Izzo. And again, you got to get that ball up and away and give your tight end the only opportunity to catch it. Turnover.
So the Garnet goes to work offensively for the first time, and we get a look at the big, bruising, running style of Jacques Patrick from Timber Creek High School here in Orlando. They go right back to Patrick. A quick change of direction, picks up another couple of yards.
Patrick 2nd on the team in rushing last year, a little over 300 yards for the 2015 campaign. We say big and bruising because he's 6'2", 233, not someone you want to try to tackle often.
A big guy that Jimbo Fisher is trying to make even more physical with the football. Third and short now, and they have bottled him up. That was 3rd and 1, and he did not get there. And so we'll have our first punt of the day. Remember, Florida State replacing a pair of specialists, not just Roberto Aguayo, the place kicker, but also Kaysen Beatty, the punter. So Jonathan Hernandez to punt, and again, punts not live as this ball sails from the 30 to about the 37 the other way, and very short series there for the Garnet. They stuck right on the ground, Keith, but could not move the sticks, and DeAndre Francois on the goal will get another chance.
Well, they went hurry up between that first and second play. They kept everything on the ground to Patrick, and as you mentioned, one of the things that Florida State suffered with last year was third down conversion. Offensively, they were converting at just a 38% clip. You'd want that somewhere up in the mid-40s or up close to 50. And that third down deficiency came up and bit the Garnet squad on that first drive.
So Francois once more. Back to his left is Ryan Green. Looks to the near side of the field, and that is batted down, and that is one of the newcomers for this Florida State team, and Wally Ame from Boynton Beach, but an early enrollee.
6'4", 289 pounds. Left-hand side, number 94, gets that big left paw up there. And that is very, very frustrating to a quarterback. You're trying to throw that quick out, and the ball doesn't even get past the line of scrimmage.
Wally Ame is one of the guys that reportedly has had a pretty good spring. We've heard some good things about him. Makes a nice play there. Here, the quick hitter right up the middle and across the 40, or to the 40, goes Ryan Green. His 6th carry of this first quarter. As you see, the clock runs. We're told we'll have running clocks throughout this game, save for the last 2 minutes of the half and the game. Mentioned the early enrollee, Wally Ame. There's 7 of them for Florida State that got into school early, which gives them an upper hand in getting acclimated. We'll see Malik Henry, the quarterback, later on. Josh Brown has done some very good things here in spring drills as well. And that is right at the sticks, and will be a first down throw.
And again, Alden Tate runs a great route. Third down, you've got to make sure you get to that down in distance. He does just that, then turns upfield, delivery by Francois, and they convert the first down.
Keith, Florida State returns a veteran trio of receivers in Bobo Wilson and Kermit Whitfield, and also Travis Rudolph. But that's a big target that Florida State's been searching for, a guy like Tate.
Candidly trying to look for a replacement for one KB, Kelvin Benjamin. Flag on the far side, by the way.
And with the breakdown and protection, Francois scrambled. Somebody barely nicked him. And so they had whistled it dead there anyway, and we'll sort things out as we look at Ron Cherry.
They'll refuse that penalty, take the results of the play, which is lost yardage.
Keith, what's the significance of a guy like Tate or any of the big receivers emerging for Florida State that does have that veteran trio, but they're more diminutive in nature?
Well, first of all, it gives you more opportunities in the red zone because of that height. 6'4", 6'5", you can get the ball up, you can go over the middle high, you can go on the outside on the traditional or what we call the alley-oop type passes. So it just gives you some more versatility, particularly in the red zone.
That is threading a needle to Ryan Izzo, the tight end, and on 2nd and 15, Florida State converts the first down with Izzo making a nice catch.
You see him split out. That's because he's 6'5", 243 pounds. He can still run, can Izzo. A tight end can block, play inside, but when they split him out, it creates another big target, as we were talking about. 5th on the team in catches last year with 14. He's a guy that has really had a good spring, Tom. He has really emerged as a go-to guy in that tight end position.
That was a tight window for Francois. Now throwing on first down, looking deep downfield, and that one overshoots Izzo, who was breaking free. But you can see already that they have targeted Izzo several times. That's the 3rd time here in this first quarter.
Izzo has earned that respect and that right, and the coaches start looking for him. A great job on a little bit of a delayed blitz at the line of scrimmage with Rick Leonard, who we've mentioned previously, as you see Francois getting the signals in from the sideline. Nice little pickup that allowed DeAndre some extra time to attempt to get that ball down the field.
2nd and 10 now. We approach the end of a quick-moving first quarter with the clock not stopping. Ryan Green with contact, spins, shakes off a tackler, keeps plugging forward. 7th carry of the game for Ryan Green.
And remind you, as you get another look at it, with Green going out to the outside, Dalvin Cook is out, Mario Pendur is out, Jonathan Vickers are out. 3 of your counted upon running backs, and of course Cook, the superstar, not participating. Therefore, Ryan getting some extra carries. Moved over from, as I mentioned previously, the defensive side this spring. Has great speed and great potential.
3rd and 3, 2nd drive of the game for the Gold, and I don't see a flag, but there is a whistle.
Time ran out
at the end of the quarter. That'll do it. Well, the Gold, no question, is moving the ball, but there's no points on the scoreboard as we're through the first 15 minutes of action. Big 3rd down coming up next. Porter, Tom Block, Keith Jones, Scott Kodak is with us as well. We haven't had a chance to say hello to Scott.
Tom, Keith, thank you very much. Here on the sideline, you mentioned earlier Dalvin Cook obviously not available to play today. It is minor shoulder surgery. He will be back in just a few short months. The thing to watch on the sideline all the time, Dalvin Cook is like a coach right now. Every time Ryan Green touches the ball, he's looking at a coach, then automatically looking right in the eyes to Dalvin Cook. It's amazing. One of the best players in the country might even be a better coach for his running backs right now. Tom?
Well, he's emerging as a team leader. 3rd down, they're going to throw. Good catch, because that was a poorly thrown ball, but Tate with another great grab and then shakes off a defender and muscles all the way to the 11-yard line, Keith.
And we are joined in the booth by athletic director Stan Wilcox, who has a big smile on his face. You like to see those big guys in the open field.
Oh yeah, this is this is a great setting, great day to be here in Orlando. So happy for our team to be able to come out and play in front of this big crowd in such great weather. I know they're excited and anxious out there, but they're putting on a show right now.
Francois and the Gold have moved the ball very well thus far. Ryan Green with his 8th carry puts the head down and moves that pile forward to about the 4-yard line. Well, for Florida State to play on a day like today in Orlando, I mean, this is a tremendous crowd, 40,000 plus at the Orlando Citrus Bowl. It really is a terrific afternoon for FSU, Stan.
Yeah, and this is a little prelude to the Ole Miss game that'll be coming up, obviously, at the start of the season. Gives our team an opportunity to kind of get down here, get a feel for the stadium, our coaches to get a feel for the stadium. And, the biggest thing is to get down here in part of the state where a lot of our fans are. Everybody can come from the north, everybody can come from the south, and we've got a good crowd and it's showing it today.
This is 2nd and 2, not 2nd and goal. And he keeps the legs churning. Touchdown is the call, and we have opened the scoring. Ryan Green's been a workhorse here in the early going, and the Gold strikes first.
Approaching double-digit carries on the ground. He gets the first pay dirt of the season. We'll get another look at it. Coming right at you. Just keeps turning those legs, keeps that head down, pad level low, backs into it almost. And a touchdown for the Gold. Stan, a lot going on at Campbell Stadium, $80+ million in renovations. That's the reason we're in Orlando. How is the construction going, and what can fans look forward to when they get to Doak in the fall?
The construction is going on very well. There are going to be plenty of amenities in that south end zone. We're taking a part of the stadium that was at one time really not a desirable place to sit, but now because of the club amenities that'll be there, it's going to be a very desirable place to be. And not only that, we're putting in a new scoreboard that'll be in the north end zone, and we're eventually going to get the south end zone done as well. And that's going to create what you would call your man cave. So if you're in the south end zone watching the game on the field, and you look up and you see this big new jumbotron there, and you're getting your your nice beverage and your drinks and your food. You can't be in a better place.
It'll be the place to be.
It will be.
Well, no question, and that will open the second game of the year, which is the first home game against Charleston Southern. They'll big celebration and grand opening of the Champions Club.
Yeah, can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to this season. We've got a lot of new kids that are got a lot of playing time last year and got a lot of experience, and they're looking really good out there today. And I know that this coming year, Jimbo is excited about it, as well as the rest of the staff. We're looking for good things to come out of this team this year.
Stan, you talked about it, but let's go back and visit. Florida State will open on Labor Day night here in Orlando against Ole Miss. An opening day national game away from home. Those are becoming very prominent, and there's a couple of reasons why.
Well, it's, number one for us, it gets us into another part of the state where a lot of our fans are. It allows us to kind of show our appreciation to this part of the state. But also, it's a win-win for everybody. It's a win for us, for Ole Miss, as well as the Citrus Bowl, to put on an event like that in this environment. We're looking forward to possibly doing more of these at the beginning of the year. We're looking at Jacksonville possibly as one site to put on a game, and it just is great for the community. It's great for our fans. It's great for the kids to get in different parts of the state, as well as it's great for recruiting. So we see no downside to it at this point.
Well, when you look at this year's schedule, not that they're all neutral site games, but you got a game in Miami, you got a game in Tampa. There's going to be a heavy Florida State presence around the Sunshine State in 2016.
Yes, we're really looking forward to it as well. This is the place to be. Florida's the place to play. Florida has some of the best football, best talent, and for us, it's fortunate that we are having an opportunity to get into the major cities within Florida to showcase our team and our coaches.
First throw you see there by J.J. Cosentino, a little low delivery, incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Redshirt sophomore quarterback for FSU. Looking left the entire time. This one is complete.
Well, Jimbo's calling him down, said he was sacked. Jimbo was back there in the back's pointing.
I thought I heard a whistle, but some of the officials were still following the action down the field.
Well, guess who doesn't have a whistle, but guess who counts?
Yeah, this is one of those games where Jimbo can become an official.
Watch Jimbo right up at the top of your screen. As he gets out of frame, he immediately goes, no, that was a sack. Put him down right there.
This is when he could be an official and could tell them exactly what's going on.
Stan, Jimbo enters his 7th season at the helm as we get set for this 3rd down, and we'll have a whistle and stoppage of play. And he's the winningest coach by percentage in ACC history, the 2nd winningest coach, I think, in all of college football right now, and there's never been a better start than the 6-year run that he started. So he's set the bar pretty high, which is a credit to him, but what the athletic department has done and Seminole Boosters to support his efforts has been very important in that run too.
Yeah, you always have to have the support at the top from the administration to provide Jimbo with everything that he needs to be successful. And that's something that we've tried to do every year. Obviously, Jimbo and I will sit down and talk at the end of each year, and we'll talk about things that he needs to help his program moving forward, whether it's personnel issues, whether it's facilities issues. And we try to do our best to make sure that we can accommodate him. And he makes jokes about it sometimes. He says, sometimes Stan hates to see me coming down that hallway because he knows I'm going to ask him something.
I've got that wish list in my hand.
Yes, but we try to make sure that we do as much as possible to make sure that they can have all the tools that they need to be successful.
That ball deflected, the Costino's ball deflected by A.J. Westbrook, incomplete, brings up 4th down.
And so our 2nd punt of the game by the left-footed punter. This one better than the first. And whistled dead there at the 41. We'll step aside. Deondre Francois and the Gold on top of the Garnet. 7-0 midpoint of the 2nd quarter here in the Orlando Citrus Bowl.
Let's go, Seminoles!
7-0 Gold on top of Garnet. An awful lot of Garnet and Gold packing Orlando today. It is just a terrific showing. I mean, this is a spring football game, and as we finish up with FSU Director of Athletics Stan Wilcox, we'll go back to where we started, Stan. I think it's 55-60% of Florida State's season ticket base lives 4 hours or more away from Doak Campbell Stadium. So for FSU to bring the show on the road, and I know it was extenuating circumstances with the stadium under construction, you just really can't draw it up better than this.
Yeah, this is unbelievable, and I got to give a lot of credit to our staff, to Jason Denard and his staff and what they've done to be able to help get the crowd here, as far as all the members of the Citrus Bowl and helping and promoting this event. Our fans, they're going to come out wherever we are. And this is a prime example of how our fans will travel, will come and be here. And we can't thank them enough about how they support our team. This is a way that we can kind of give back by coming down to a part of the state where everybody can kind of get to. And, whether they're coming from the north or the south, they can kind of cut their travel in half. So, and it's all showing here, and I'm just loving this.
Nice misdirection on that prior play. They get the ball to Izzo. Here's Green in the open field. And the Gold, obviously, with momentum on their side as we continue on here in the second quarter.
No question. Well, Stan, thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes. Congratulations on the continued success of the Florida State athletics program across the board. I mean, it's one of the preeminent programs in the country, no question.
Well, thank you, and we're trying our best on a day-to-day basis. I tell everybody it's same fight, different round, and we're going to come out swinging every day.
Understood, and well done.
Thanks.
All righty, that is FSU Director of Athletics Stan Wilcox as the Gold drives again, third drive for DeAndre Francois and company. And Ryan Green has really looked comfortable moving back to the running back position today, Keith.
Great read by Francois that time. You saw him look down the middle of the field, immediately turn to the outside, get the ball to Green in the open field. See, looks to the right, back to the left. And so far, impressive performance by DeAndre.
One throw that he'd like to have back, and that was on the opening drive as he forced one to Izzo, who's been a frequent target here today. It's second and short right now, and this is Jimbo's dream here. Second and a yard. The whole playbook is open right now. Looks like he's going to take a chance. He will. He's looking for Auden Tate. He's got him. Drops it in a bucket. Tate with the touchdown and a great throw from Francois.
We heard during the spring, of course, the practices are closed to the media. You get very limited reports, but we'd heard that there was a chemistry, a connection between Francois and Tate. They worked together last year on the scout team. Of course, they're mimicking other teams during that process. Now they're running Jimbo's offense, and a great step and throw perfectly on time. And then there's another example of why that 6'4", 6'5" frame comes in handy. Touchdown Gold.
Aguayo to tack on the PAT, which he does, and it's 14-zip in favor of the Gold as we're under 5 minutes to play in the second quarter. Keith, when you look at the numbers right now for Francois, he's 8 of 12 for 127 yards, a touchdown and the pick. If he just throws that interception away, it's almost a perfect scorecard at this point.
And those are the things you expect the youngsters to make in settings like this. Jimbo will be the first to tell you. They go back and look at the tape. Did he get the right call at the line of scrimmage? Did he get him out of a bad play and into a better play depending on the setup? If after the snap, sight reads, sight adjustments, that one pass he would love to have back to Izzo, but I think when you go back and look at the tape, he threw it to the right person. He just didn't make the accurate throw. All of those things have to come into play for it to be successful in Jimbo's offense, however.
What about two guys we've seen? Again, it's a half of a spring game, but we've heard a lot about them this spring, looking like they could become more significant targets in 2016, and that would be Tate and Izzo.
And Izzo has really stepped out. I mentioned that prior, but this was a setting that candidly the staff was looking to see if Tate would emerge. And so far, I think you've got to give credit. The sophomore has taken advantage of the opportunity, and he's caught a couple of nice balls, and not the least of which is that touchdown.
So another kickoff, and this one comes down around the 8 or the 9. And that is one difference, Aguayo to Aguayo, if you will, if the kicks have been just a tad shorter here so far in the spring game. Don't forget that Logan Tyler is part of the highly decorated recruiting class and will be coming in the fall to compete both at the place kicking and punting spot for FSU. Going to get our first look now at Malik Henry, one of those 7 early enrollees. True freshman quarterback, 6'2", 185 pounds from the state of California. Long committed as a Seminole and made it official when he enrolled in January. fakes the handoff and will complete his first pass. And Keith, that's just a pretty simple play to get the freshman comfortable, maybe get some jitters out, complete a pass, and move forward.
But it also illustrates his athleticism and a little bit of that arm strength, recognizing that that ball was not thrown terribly far down the field, but was thrown with a lot of zip on it. Malik is more known for moving around in the pocket and rolling out.
Get another quick hitter, and that one flirted with trouble there, and that's Marcus Lewis converging on the football and Travis Rudolph.
Ball intended to Rudolph. Wow, what a bowl game Travis Rudolph had in the Peach Bowl up in Orlando. 7 catches, 201 yards, and a touchdown in that loss to Houston, but he really shined. And a great break on the ball that time, as you mentioned, by Lewis, Marcus Lewis, the sophomore out of Washington, D.C.
Guy who figures to see much more extensive playing time this year. He's been hampered by a little bit of injuries here in spring drill, and then we'll get a sack here. Jimbo is
no, that was a jailbreak.
Jailbreak, yeah, pointing. Matthew Thomas leading the party. Looking at Ethan Frith is who Jimbo's talking to.
Number 6 in the gold, the white jersey, the gold as we're calling him, was Matthew Thomas, the very highly touted player out of Miami. Has had injuries, eligibility issues, no question in his talent, but that was a complete breakdown on the offensive line. Pressure coming from both ends.
And so another 3 and out for the Garnet squad, which has struggled to get on track against this Gold defense.
My goodness.
Thus far, and that one turns over. That's a terrific punt. All the way to the 26-yard line is where they will mark that one. What a great punt.
Jonathan Hernandez. And yeah, he is that tall. 6'4" punter.
Redshirt junior from Bradenton. He's been on the squad the last couple years behind Kason Beatty. And looks like he's getting warmed up as he gets more action out there.
I returned punts my sophomore year, way back in the dark ages, and there is a distinct difference between a right-footed punter and a left-footed punter, the way the ball comes down.
Drive number 4 for Francois in the Gold squad.
Hello, my name's Josh.
And that was Josh Sweat, defensive end, back there laying the lumber in coverage.
One of the things that they love to do, Coach Kelly loves to do on the defensive side, is drop his ends. And with the athleticism of one Josh Sweat, you can do that. And hello, welcome to Orlando, the city beautiful.
Bobo Wilson, the recipient there. Francois, second interception as he just missed a defender there, and it is picked off. And inside the 30, the 28, down to the 27 goes Roderick Hoskins. Had a big pick a couple years ago in a spring game, and he was just sitting in coverage.
Just a bad read, a bad throw and a bad read. Tried to force the ball in, clearly not open. And again, that's the ups and downs, Tommy, you see of someone as talented. And you see Jimbo all the way over to the sideline talking to DeAndre. You just can't make those mistakes. For all the good, here comes the immaturity.
First interception took points off the board. This one sets up the Garnet with their best field position of the day. And we'll see if they're able to turn this into points. That one is overthrown, nearly picked off. Henry with a little too much juice on it.
Krauslacki would love to be just a little bit taller. Isaiah, number 38, that ball just sailed over his head. He goes 5'9". If he'd like to be about 6'2", and that might have been a pick. Henry a little off target.
Henry is 6'2", very highly touted quarterback. Jimbo saw him early, locked him up early. Going to take a shot at the end zone and overshoots his intended target.
Great coverage on the outside by Marcus Lewis. We talked about McFadden. Here's another one of the youngsters. Mentioned him previously, a sophomore out of Washington, D.C., number 24. Perfect coverage. Henry had nowhere to go with the ball, had to go outside, uncatchable, incomplete, 3rd and 10.
Henry gets the play, barks out the signals. Remember the rules, the clock stops here in the final 2 minutes. As there is head coach Jimbo Fisher. That's where he stands at practice on a regular basis, right behind the quarterbacks.
Ball is tipped.
And incomplete. Going to have a long field goal attempt here now, I believe. Let's watch this again, see if we can see who got his arm.
Didn't quite get that jersey number. Might have been Freeman. No, excuse me, number 97. That's Isaiah Smallwood.
Rudolph tried to go back and get it. You can see Marcus Lewis doing a pretty good job of staying with Rudolph wherever he goes. So we'll have a 45-yard field goal attempt. Plenty of leg on the kick, and it is good.
Is it Roberto? Is it Ricky? Is it Ricky? Is it Roberto?
It is Aguayo who splits the uprights, and the Garnet gets on the board just before half.
Took advantage of that turnover. Anytime you get sudden change, gets points off of it, particularly when you get the ball on the opponent's, in this case, the Gold's side of the 50, you want to make sure you convert.
14-3 with 29 seconds left at intermission. They will give out the Spring Football Awards. We'll recap that for you later in the day. We hope to hear from Jimbo Fisher here before the team heads into the locker room. We'll also be joined by Steve Hogan from Florida Citrus Sports, who of course was right in the middle of organizing Florida State's appearance both today and also against Ole Miss on Labor Day night.
And something tells me when everything's said and done that there'll be some bigger and better things coming out of the Orlando Citrus Sports Group. Just scratching the surface.
So 14-3, the Gold leads it. And Aguayo will boot another kickoff. That's a pretty good kick there, as it's a yard deep in the end zone.
And directional.
Pseudo live kickoffs, if you will, as they're letting them block and thud, but don't take down the ball carrier. Situational football opportunity now for the Gold, Keith, with 24 seconds for Deondre Francois.
We saw how he came back from that prior interception that cost him points, or at least kept him from an opportunity for points. Let's see how he comes back from that last mistake here in the closing moments.
Two receivers at the bottom of your screen, one up top. Looks right. They set up the screen, and oh, good job to blow up that screen and force that back inside.
Is that Hoskins
That was
again?
Hoskins again, because if he squirts free outside, that's going to go for a while.
Watch the right-hand side of your screen. Offensive lineman take off, and here comes Derek. He gets right in there between them, doesn't get credit for the tackle, but gets credit for destroying the play. Watch number 18 and Garnet right there. Sheds strips between two offensive linemen, just enough to turn the ball carrier back inside, nowhere for Green to go. It gets mopped up and finished up.
Yeah, David Robbins had his hands on Hoskins, but couldn't get a hat on him. And so what could have been a sizable gain instead is just a yard gain. So 17 seconds. They take the timeout.
Yep.
Thus far, Keith, I think you'd say we've seen what you'd expect from a young quarterback, and that is a mixed bag.
the report said that he had done some great things, and I think what we've seen here in the first 30 minutes is exactly right. Exactly that. Again, talking about Francois, it's the elimination or the minimization of the mistakes that becomes of concern.
Of course, Sean McGuire still on the mend from the ankle injury suffered at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Under 20 seconds to go as Francois finds a target. Green gets right to the stick. There is a flag down.
In the area of holding. Just 3 on the rush, 8 dropping. I think you saw a hand, offensive lineman get a hand up in the face of a defensive lineman. That helmet came off. Hands to the face. Is that Noddy that lost his helmet there, TB?
I didn't see, and his mic cut out. I think he said 70, which would be Cole Minshew.
The guilty party.
Well, so now you're in a situation, Keith, in a real game, you certainly would sit on it and go into the locker room. I don't know if that's what Jimbo's going to do here.
I say take a shot. It's the spring game.
Right. That's my point. If this is October or November, it's not what you do, and instead he'll just hand it up the gut. Ryan Green will pad his stats, and our first half will come to a close with the Gold on top of the Garnet. 14-3. Francois with a touchdown pass and a couple of picks. Ryan Green over 60 yards rushing, nearly a 6-yard average. And you can see the teaching never stops for Jimbo and his young quarterback.
And then I think this has to do with whether he did or didn't change the play at the line of scrimmage on that particular play. Jimbo, copious notes. We'll make sure that all of those things, all the negatives, get addressed.
Jimbo is tough on his quarterbacks, but he gets results. His last 3 starters have been first-round picks, including the #1 overall pick a year ago. He demands perfection, no question, and I think he's going to find his way to our Scott Kodik or vice versa here, and we'll take Jimbo's temperature on what he has seen thus far. Scott, take it away.
Hey guys, thanks very much, Coach Fisher. Before we talk about the first half here, you're 4 hours away from Tallahassee. What do you think about this crowd here in Orlando?
Oh, it's great. It's great that we can get down here in the middle of Florida and get everybody from South Florida, North Florida, everybody coming. It's a great turnout, and thank everybody for coming.
First half, we got a chance to look at your young quarterbacks. How do you assess their play overall?
Well, I mean, did some really nice drives, had 2 critical mistakes. So we can't throw the ball short in the end zone, which we should have run it in. The problem was the play before on second one, we didn't run it in. And then should have did it on third one and ran it. But then right there made a critical mistake 2 minutes before the half, read the coverage wrong. And, that's part of growing up. But he's doing some really good things. And the other guys on the other team just got to get in a rhythm. They can't get in a rhythm.
Coach, thanks. Enjoy the awards in the second half.
Thank you.
All righty, head coach Jimbo Fisher reiterating really what we've said, Keith, and even more demonstrative in making the point that you just can't give it away, especially in the red zone. We'll react to that, look at first half highlights, and get to our halftime festivities. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous afternoon in Orlando here at the Citrus Bowl. Florida State and its fans enjoying the spring game festivities. Halftime here between the Garnet and Gold. Spring awards, spring football practice awards being handed out, and Jimbo in the middle of it. There is Dalvin Cook, who may well be in the running for a even more notable award by the time this season plays out as he comes back for his junior campaign. Ryan Izzo with a great spring as well. We'll look at the first half highlights as we say hello once more. Tom Block with Keith Jones and Scott Kodik. First look at Francois, who has mobility as part of his arsenal.
We talked about his arm and we talked about his completions and interceptions. It started with him running the ball, which is something that he brings to the table. There's been times, as Coach Izzo, or Coach Fisher rather, talked about as he tries to get the ball to Izzo, he's made bad throws. There's times he's made good throws. There's a guy that has also stood out here in the first half, Tate, the wide receiver. Everything has gone the Gold's way. Ryan Green with extra effort finding his way into the end zone. And a pretty entertaining first half if you just like some running and tackling and catching and pitching.
Well, Green has run for over 60 yards. This is maybe the best throw by Francois today.
Without question. Everything on that one perfect. You just wish you could take those 2 picks away. And just like his brother, Aguayo good from 45.
Yep, right down the middle. And we will step aside as the halftime festivities continue. The Gold on top of the Garnet, 14-3 here in Orlando. And win certainly for Florida Citrus Sports, for FSU football, for FSU fans, Keith.
President John Thrasher just stuck his head in during the break. He says, this is fantastic. This is great. We need to do this more. I think if you look at the game on the field, the 2 things that jump out at me, first of all, the Gold has had some mistakes. Francois has made some mistakes. He needs to get those cleared up. You saw and heard Coach Fisher talk about that with Scott. Secondly, for the Garnet, they've got to get some rhythm. They've had penalties. They've been started back up. They haven't had an opportunity. Cosentino and Malik Henry just haven't had an opportunity to get into any rhythm. So we're focusing on the quarterbacks because they're the ones that make it go. But you also, I think, have to tip your hat a little bit to these defenses. They played quite well.
I want to reiterate, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this is not ones versus twos.
Correct.
The seniors picked the team, so you do have not necessarily the normal quintet of offensive linemen all working together, and we've sung the offense's praises a lot in terms of individuals. Defensively, Marcus Lewis has looked good in coverage. Roderick Hoskins has looked pretty good at the linebacker spot.
I don't think anybody associated with Florida State is terribly worried about the defense, whether they play well here in the spring game or not. So many good players coming back, what Coach Kelly's been able to do on that side of the ball. Therefore, the focus on the quarterbacks and on the offensive side. Defense will take care of itself.
What do you want to see more of in this second half?
The consistency, elimination of those mistakes, and again for the Garnet squad, the ability to get in some rhythm so we can see what JJ and what Malik can do. You just haven't had the opportunity, and it hadn't presented itself to see what they can truly do at the quarterback position.
Let's go down field side once more, check in with Scott Kotick for his observation. Scott?
Hey, thanks, guys. And one of the things I think when you look around the stadium is pretty evident. A lot of fans here today. We were told by the FSU marketing crew 4,000 walk-up tickets alone were sold for today's game. What they are going to see in the second half is a lot of those players that were some of those big recruits coming in 2015, 2016. It is their opportunity to shine. And TB and KJ, you mentioned the defense. When you lose a guy like Jalen Ramsey, you think, well, we don't know where things are going to go. The good news is Tavares McSpadden and Marquez White, who we'll hear from a little bit later, are those guys that should step into that role. So Charles Kelly in that defense, it seems like it's the next guy up every single year. The talent never deteriorates here at Florida State. Should spell for some interesting things in 2016. Tom?
All right, thank you very much, Scott. You saw earlier in halftime they were handing out awards, KJ. Not surprisingly, as we look at the list, Derwin James wins a couple of them, Dalvin Cook. Offensive Most Improved Player Award goes to Auden Tate. Well, that's translating today with what we've seen from Auden.
That's number 18 in the gold, if you remember from the first 30 minutes. You'll probably see more of him in the second as well. And there's the opportunity for guys to step up and make themselves known, not only to the coaching staff. In other words, they've been able to come out here on a stage and perform. Coaches have confidence in them, but make themselves known to these 45,000 fans here. So all during the summer, we can tweet about what's Austin Tate going to do when the season rolls around.
Just to be accurate, Kareem R. shared that award. I don't want to upset any of the big guys up front. All right, second half action is coming up next when we come back to Orlando and the Citrus Bowl right after this. Stay with us. We are back, start of the third quarter. Garnet and Gold FSU spring game on the road in Orlando again due to the renovations and the construction project at Doak Campbell Stadium, and so plenty of Garnet and Gold clad fans happy to make their way here to Orlando. It's an FSU team that returns an awful lot for 2016.
None.
They return all 11 starters on offense. And
he's on guest.
Take a look
he
at
is
that.
On guest right now. He is on guest.
Sean McGuire, Freddie Stevenson, Dalvin Cook among those that return offensively, Keith. That's actually 12 names when you look at it. But the point is,
well, that's because you've got the 3 wide receivers listed there. There's your returning defensive
comes
players.
back on defense.
And DeMarcus Walker, who we saw get an award here at halftime, Josh Sweat, 2 really big-name players. I'm really interested to see what Trey Marshall can do coming back from that biceps injury. And Derwin James, obviously, everybody knows what that big sophomore can do.
Marquez White obviously out for the spring game with injury. The Garnet starts with the ball at the 25-yard line. See if we can get the quarterbacks in some sort of a rhythm, and there is one that is just overshot.
And you can't do that. You simply cannot do that. We talked about Francois not throwing that ball short in the end zone. Here's one who had great play action. You got the defensive end sucked in. You got your tight end wide open. You simply cannot overthrow that football.
Be 2nd and 10. There's been no rhythm for the Garnet squad for either quarterback. Cosentino started. Malik Henry played a little bit as well. This time they'll hand it to the big bruising Jaquez Patrick, who trucks a defender and falls forward. Noticeably absent, obviously, is Florida State's premier player Dalvin Cook, but he'll be back for the fall. Right now, believe it or not, Scott Kodak was quick enough to catch up with him. Scotty?
Yeah, familiar face certainly, Tom. Dalvin, I know you want to be out there with your teammates today, but it's minor surgery, obviously. Let's talk about the guys you've seen today. What have you seen from Ryan Green, Jaquez Patrick, Freddie Stevenson, your brothers you're in the backfield with every day?
I've seen a lot, big jump from especially Ryan Green and Jaquez. You know, Freddie been doing good things all spring, and since he played fullback. So Ryan Green and Jaquez, a big jump this spring. They matured a lot, and you know, and they showing out there on the field.
Yeah, such a big season for you last year. I mean, the all-time leading rusher in single season in FSU history. Knowing you want to get better in the offseason once you get healthy. What does Dalvin Cook even improve on?
You know, learn the game more, and you know, make my teammates around me more better, and you know, that's the thing I got to get better at. You know, to get where we want to go and the goals that we want to achieve. You know, I got to make the guys around me better, and you know, that's what I'm working on. You know, getting these guys at the level Coach Fisher wanted to play at. So you know, it's a standard he wanted to play at, and you know, I'm gonna help push them to get to that level.
The one thing we saw out of you last year, that leadership position, you took hold of that firmly beginning of the season. Now it's an even bigger weight on your shoulders. Talk about the leadership you need to show to this team.
Just be more vocal and, you know, say the right things for them to respond, and, you know, just pushing the leaders, the real leaders on the team, you know, getting it out of them so they can get it out of the younger guys and out of the other guys. So, you know, just being more vocal out there, and that's what Coach Fisher needs, and that's what I'm gonna bring to the team. So just being more vocal, that's it.
And finally, you're gonna be back here in just a few short months to play Ole Miss. This crowd is unbelievable today. It's gonna be even bigger in a couple months. You looking forward to starting 2016?
Yeah, I'll be out there then. And, you know, I'm so excited for this team and the potential we got, and you know, to show Nole Nation what we're gonna bring to the table. So you know, come September, we're gonna be ready, and you know, this all season we're gonna grind over this summer, and we're gonna be ready come September.
Dalvin, thanks for joining us. Heal up, and look forward to seeing you in the fall.
Yeah, y'all see me definitely.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. A great punt. That's one thing we haven't mentioned today. We've seen a few good punts, and so the Gold starts backed up. Keith, I want to continue that thought. Dalvin mentioned being more vocal. To me, a noticeable void a year ago, particularly offensively. Not surprising because there were no upperclassmen, save for Everett Golson, who came in at the 11th hour. Leadership was lacking, and I get the sense that's really a point of emphasis for a lot of the big names that are back.
Get another look at this punt here. Second time we've seen great hang time and great distance. But to address your question, there's two types of leaders, Tommy. There's those that lead by example, and there's those that are vocal. And certainly Dalvin Cook has led by example even as a youngster. But what Coach Fisher has asked of him and some of the others, including Rod Johnson, the big offensive tackle, is I need to hear more from you. You need to be more vocal. You need to be saying things to your teammates to encourage them so that, you know, as they say, that water rises, all boats rise when the water rises. And that's been an emphasis and something that Coach Fisher has asked specifically of Dalvin to get more involved in.
Procedure penalty here has the Gold backed up. Francois and his Seminoles staring backed up into their own end zone here. Really one of the few times today that there's been bad field position, and they're behind the stick, so we'll see what Francois can do on 2nd and long. They'll run it near side, and boy, the defense is there. They were all over that, and Derwin James, when he gets there, you feel his presence. You hear his presence.
You see, you feel, and then you hear. Watch number 3 come into your screen right there. Very, very good open field tackler. He was the defensive MVP in the spring, along with DeMarcus Walker. The upside on this guy, just unbelievable. We talk a lot about Jalen Ramsey. He's gone. Top 5 pick, some believe maybe even the number 1 overall pick. Number 3 in the safety position for Florida State, another rising superstar.
3rd and 15, and Francois is going to tuck it and run, and boy, the seas part, and he's going to get a first down before he is touched out at the 24-yard line. And it's the proverbial unaccounted for offensive player, if you will, that's able to scramble.
Second time we have seen him do this. And again, as I mentioned the first time, this is an added dimension, something that's a little extra. You don't want to rely on it. It's not like Florida State has gone to a quarterback running offense. But when things are not open, you have to get out of the pocket. It's nice to have that ability.
Ryan Izzo again makes the catch, and he is knocked down. We showed you returning starters. Maybe make more sense to take a look at who's no longer back. Lost starters for Florida State, as that was Nate Andrews on the tackle for Izzo. Most of these guys either defense or specialists, but a couple of linebackers in Smith and Northrup. Jalen Ramsey we just discussed. Javian Elliott was a walk-on. Brutus set the defensive calls last year. A couple of big D tackles, and then your place kicker and punter all gone from a year ago. So some key guys to be sure, as Francois has the pocket breakdown and now a flag comes in. A minimal gain on the scramble, but it's going to be lost yardage.
And we haven't talked about necessarily replacing the specialist in Aguayo and Beatty, but we've seen his younger brother, Aguayo's younger brother, Ricky, and we've seen an opportunity taken advantage of by Hernandez, Jonathan Hernandez, the punter. As you see, the call against the Gold offense backs them up just a little bit more.
Yeah, Hernandez, no question, has done a good job today, given the opportunity. 2nd and long again. Francois used his legs a moment ago on 3rd down to convert. Got trips up top now. Low snap. He digs it out. Looks left. Now looks downfield, and now he will scramble, and he's not going to get anywhere.
He tried to set a screen up to the defense's right, offense's left, and it was just blown up by this Garnet defense.
Let's check in with Scott Kodak once more. Scott?
Hey guys, 2 guys that Seminole Nation will know very well: Rashad Green, Jameis Winston, former national champions, ACC champions, you name it, they've been a champion. Guys, just talk about being back and seeing your former team.
Oh, it's great just to come out here and be a part of this in a new environment, and I know it's fun for the guys, so it's just always good to come back and just reunite with guys and just see the new players just come out here and compete against each other.
And Jameis, for you to see some of the young guys, you were a young guy playing the spring game as a young quarterback. Talk about maybe what they're going through right now.
One thing they're going through right now is their head coach, Coach Fisher. He's staying on them, but they're looking pretty good right now. But the most exciting part is being back with these guys, man. Reuniting, it feels so good.
Talk about the bond that you guys had, because I've been around a number of teams, especially at Florida State, and there aren't too many teams that had the special bond you guys did. And you saw the games. You won a ton of games, of course, 29 in a row. But maybe that's not what you remember the most about those years.
It's definitely the brotherhood that we built. It'll never change. This is always going to be my brother regardless of where we are. One day we might be reunited again, on the playing fields, but that's what it was about, and that's what we played for. That's why we not only won games, we destroyed people. So that was what it was all about for me.
Talk about that mentality you got to have as a team in order to know, hey, we just don't want to beat you. We want to beat you bad. We want to prove that we are the best team in the country.
Well, one thing Coach Fisher had told us, he said, there's not no rule in that rule, but they say you can't blow somebody out. So we took that to heart. And like he said, it's a brotherhood. We love each other. When we went out there on that battlefield together, we had to come out victorious.
Well, guys, we so appreciate you being back. It's great seeing 2 brothers, lifelong Seminoles, being back here at the Citrus Bowl.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All righty, thank you very much, Scott. Jameis Winston and Rashad Green.
Nice throw.
This time Cosentino does not miss the mark, and that's a big first down for the Garnet, one of their biggest plays of the day. Maven Saunders makes the catch. About a 15-yard gain, cross midfield. Beg your pardon, that was Malik Henry that time as they switch quarterbacks.
Action to the offense's right, turns it back to the offense's left. You got to make that throw, get it in there, just get it in his hands and let him take off with it. That's a big, big target. And Saunders, 6'5", 250.
Works once, why not twice? And again, first down yardage to the 35-yard line. And Henry looking as comfortable as he has all day and limited opportunities thus far.
And that's what we were talking about at halftime in terms of getting into a rhythm. Let's see what he can do. Getting a couple completions under your belt, some first downs, move the sticks, an opportunity to get into that rhythm.
So a first down at the 35-yard line. That ball incomplete, but it looks like Jimbo here is really trying to force his quarterback to get into rhythm by giving him more at bat, so to speak.
Not a bad throw this time. Just a little bit out of the reach. That's Jared Jackson, the redshirt junior out of Monticello, Florida. But you're exactly right. You want to get reps, get it on tape, get experience, so you've got something to work with.
Go back to the well once more, and a cut inside, and now pushing the pile. That is close to the first down, not quite there.
Seen a lot of misdirection on this drive. Gets the ball back. That's Saunders again, the big tight end, delivering a little punishment of his own.
Shamar Kilby-Lane makes the stop, so 3rd and short. And able to fight through a shoestring tackle attempt. Florida State will get the first down. That's Omari Albert with the carry.
Great read by Kilby-Lane, number 30. Shot the gap. Had his hands on Albert, but unable to bring him down. They convert the first down.
Malik Henry and the Garnet on the move. We will get another look at him throwing, and this one is caught a little bit shy of the first down. We have to step aside for a quick break. We'll come back and obviously fill in the blanks here as the Garnet is on the move in Orlando with the Gold leading 14-3. Welcome back as we get set for the PAT. We'll show you how the Garnet got its first touchdown on the day of a laser of a throw from Malik Henry, and we'll watch that just a moment as the time expires in the third quarter. Watch more, Keith. What do you see out of Malik Henry here with the mobility and the dart?
Risk return. Pretty dangerous throw, but with this type of arm strength, you can make it happen. Extend, extend, extend. Find Jackson in the back. Touchdown to the Garnet. 14-10.
14-10. A nice drive by Malik Henry, using some misdirection, getting in a rhythm, a few completions. Malik thus far 7 of 12 for 61 yards. Actually a higher rating for this game than what Francois has because of the couple of picks that DeAndre has thrown. That touchdown catch, by the way, was Jared Jackson. Malik Henry to Jared Jackson.
Jackson prominent in that drive. He had a correct catch earlier for a first down. Gets rewarded with 6.
It was he and Maven Saunders that got the bulk of the targets on that drive. Here's a look once more.
And again, a little bit of a dangerous throw, throwing it back across your body, but a strong arm. Jackson comes free. Nice catch. 6 points for the Garnet.
That was on a second down play. We had gone to break, and Henry completed a pass to Jackson, as you mentioned, for the first down. We'll get our kickoff here as we're into the fourth quarter. Great crowd, great atmosphere. Decent play from the quarterbacks, the picks notwithstanding, and a mistake there is going out of bounds with it is Stephen Williams, I believe.
Simply can't catch that ball. You've got to let it hit and do whatever it's going to do, because you know your momentum is going to carry you out of bounds. Number 32 there. Redshirt senior out of Naples. Offensive line for the Gold: Johnson, Rod Johnson, Minshew, Martinez, David Robbins, Rick Leonard across the front there. 76 is Leonard, a guy that a lot of people have had their eyes on, moved from the defensive end position over to that right tackle position, showing great promise.
Jake Rizzo is in at quarterback now. He is a freshman from St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale. Fires incomplete on his first attempt of the game. Scott Kodak is busy downstairs. He's with a Seminole who's going to be a starter in the fall but is out today.
Yeah, certainly, TB. You are right on that one. Marquez White joins us now, and Jalen Ramsey leaves early to go to the draft. It should be a very high draft pick. You're hurt right now. I know you want to be out there with your brothers. Just talk about what you've seen so far today.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people competing for spots, man. It's a lot of new faces, especially on defense. And you see the young guys seeing the opportunity that they got. Because I tell Marcus T-Tom, the corners that's out there now, my spot not even safe. So just come out and compete and just make the best of your opportunity.
It seems like no matter who graduates or leaves early, you guys just reload in the secondary. What is the mentality that Coach Kelly brings to you guys?
Just come to work every day, man. I said this in the interview. Like, we were reflecting on my coach, like his work ethic, the amount of hours he put in, the nights that he stayed at the school that nobody know, man. We just a reflection of our coach.
One of the top defenses in the nation again last year. What do you guys have to do off-season-wise to make sure you not only don't get worse next year, but you even get better?
Just focus on the little things. Just know your assignments, who you got, proper technique, alignment, and just playing as a family, as a brotherhood.
And finally, this crowd is something else today. And you're going to be back here pretty soon to play Ole Miss. Talk about that atmosphere. If this is only a sign of things to come, this should be pretty amazing.
I don't know what Ole Miss go sit if we can get all our fans in here like this, man. It's a wonderful thing to see. It's really great.
Marquez, we appreciate you joining us. Heal up great, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the fall.
Thank you.
TB, KJ, back to you.
Broken hand, keeping White out of drills.
Seen some nice play by some of the young guys he mentioned there, Marcus Lewis in particular. This one sends the returner backpedaling in a hurry to the 16-yard line.
New punter. By my count, that's Kevin Robledo. Say that for me again.
Robledo.
I need to work on that.
Kevin Robledo.
Number 28. Good number, by the way.
Yeah, Jonathan Hernandez and Robledo have done the punting today. Ricky Aguayo has handled the rest. Logan Tyler will be in the mix in the fall. Going to have a new holder this year, too. Steve Gabbard is back as the long snapper. But Kaysen Beatty had been the holder for Aguayo. And so a little bit of turnover there as well as we look at Malik Henry once more. Henry looked like he got a little comfortable last drive out there. He'll start, call it the 17-yard line. Here is Patrick turning the corner. Keeps his feet as he gets pushed out of bounds. Few-yard gain.
Again, remind you if you're tuning in late, Dalvin Cook out with the shoulder surgery. Mario Pender still recovering from the lung surgery, collapsed lung, and some surgery they had. And Jonathan Vickers, the Tallahassee kid, out as well. So we're seeing a good dash of Patrick, Freddie Stevenson, Ryan Green. A lot of bodies in that running back position for Florida State.
That was Trey Marshall with the tackle to run Patrick out of bounds a moment ago. And right there again, Marcus Lewis quickly reacting on the short throw. That was to Travis Rudolph. Rudolph has been quiet today, but has had a pretty good spring.
Now he and Whitfield both, you know what you have with them, and I'm sure that whether intentionally or unintentionally, see number 15 there, Travis Rudolph, the junior out of West Palm, wanting to try to see the young kids. You know what you've got with those upperclassmen. Let's see what the young kids can do on a stage such as this.
They have rolled Henry out several times. This is his deepest throw of the day. A little too deep.
Trying to get that to Whitfield. This is an area that he really excels in, does Henry, rolling and throwing on that run. Overshoots him a little bit this time, but that is a talent that this young man has.
It was A.J. Westbrook in coverage, trying to keep up with Kermit, which is not an easy task. 2nd and 10 for Henry and the Garnet.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, and so lost yardage will bring up 3rd and even longer.
Number 90 there in your screen.
DeMarcus Christmas.
Just eating it up.
Christmas, a very promising player for Florida State as well. A redshirt sophomore, 6'4", 290 from Manatee High School in Bradenton.
19 tackles in limited action last year.
Third and long for the Garnet now. Henry had a notion and now does flick one out there for a completion, but it's well short of first down yardage. Got it to Maven Saunders. Tight ends have been busy today, Izzo and Saunders. Saunders, a redshirt sophomore himself. And Keith, general impressions on Malik Henry, a guy who has not been in the offense for a year, just showed up in January, but has looked a little more comfortable here in the second half.
He's shown some improvement. You see the actual athletic ability. It's just going to take time. Nothing makes up for experience, Tommy. Got to have those reps.
All right, we'll take our last break here of the spring game. 14-10, Gold on top of Garnet. Here's a look at that 2016 schedule for the Seminoles. It starts right back here in Orlando, Labor Day night against Ole Miss. 5 days later, Charleston Southern, then a couple of road games. So that is not an easy September, and it doesn't really lighten. Florida State's got a tough, challenging schedule when you consider the non-conference foes. At Miami at the midpoint of the season, a Clemson home game to round out October.
Don't overlook the Tar Heels at home either in game number 5 there to start the month of October.
Fake the handoff and now hang in there and throw, and that is a good throw and catch out to the 44-yard line.
Bubba Wilson, the senior out of Miami, with the reception. Second on the team in catches last year with 58. And again, we mentioned that you know what you've got with the upperclassmen. Nice delivery.
Pressure closing in. Wilson squirts free and Francois finds him.
Very low snap that time. Very difficult for the quarterback to handle it.
Nick Patty on the tackle. Well, truthfully, that's a couple of snaps in a row that have been low. That's Corey Martinez. That's tough for any quarterback, but particularly a quarterback who is settling into the position and has a lot of other things to try and decipher. Going to find the football just adds to that list. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Throwaway right there. Trying to get the ball downfield to Wilson. He was covered. I don't think he's terribly happy. What do you think?
Well, we talked about it earlier. Jimbo is a perfectionist. There's a reason.
That he is. Making him happy is very rare sometimes. Bless his heart.
His attention to detail and his focus to make sure the players have attention to detail is impressive. Again, a low snap. Block made, and now down the left sideline, but that is out of bounds, uncatchable. Trying to catch up with Tate, who had a big first half. He's been quiet here. 4 catches, 73 yards today, including a touchdown.
And almost took Sean McGuire out, number 10 in the Garnet jersey with the boot on at the tail end of this play. Ball's out of bounds. Oh, come on, Sean, bring it down.
Well, that tells you the state things for Sean McGuire. Smile there, so he's okay. But he's still in a boot, expected to, I think, be fully back by June, which would let him go through voluntary workouts in July and be ready to go in August. You can see he's got the headsets on, and by all accounts, he stayed completely engaged, been in the quarterback meetings and that sort of thing throughout spring practice.
Well, there's no question that he knows this offense better than any of the other quarterbacks. He's been in the system. He knows the system. You see his numbers from last year, participated in 8 games. We all remember that horrific hit he took in the Peach Bowl, came back actually playing on a broken ankle, which is what required the surgery and the reason for the boot now. Above the shoulders is not always and very much even entering into the equation. It's translating that to the plays on the field and the opportunity here in the spring for these young kids to get the reps while he sits back and watches.
Well, an opportunity now for the Garnet with 5:22 to play in this game, and they'll fake the. No, they won't either. They faked me out, and they've got a nice gain on the run. That's George Campbell, I believe.
Haven't seen Campbell catch the ball, but 6'4", 192-pound sophomore out of Clearwater, got good speed this time on the end around. And a good game for the Garnet. First down as they try to drive to the go-ahead score here as we close out the 4th quarter.
Remember, the clock will stop under 2 minutes. Been playing running clock the rest of the way, taking a shot downfield and a completion. Biggest play of the game for the Garnet squad.
And we give him the ball on the end around. Now we'll get the ball down the field. Everybody's Paul on the coverage, number 23 in the goal, but nice comeback for the ball, that back shoulder throw as they like. And George Campbell with his first reception here of the 2016 spring game.
So the field flipped in a matter of 2 plays, and now inside the 25. Henry will throw again under pressure, and wisely backpedals a step or 2 and throws it out of bounds to avoid the sack. Another look at that big pass to George Campbell.
Be working from your right to your left. That back shoulder throw, as they like to call it. Receiver anticipates it. The defensive back does not. They get separation, make the catch, get out of bounds.
41-yard reception by George Campbell. 2nd and 10 now for Malik Henry, with Patrick flanked to his left.
Nice
going
catch.
all the way. He's got another completion. Going up top, Travis Rudolph with the grab. Urban's ball with the coverage once more. That is a first down. So
Garnet goes in and scores right here, makes that bus ride back to Tallahassee a lot more enjoyable.
Here is Patrick bouncing outside and inside the 5-yard line. A couple yards shy of another first down. More importantly, creeping closer to pay here for the Garnet.
Jimbo said all during the spring he wants Patrick to run with his pads low. Get lower, pads low, get lower, run that and use that power. Don't be so upright. Don't be such a big target. Constant focus.
8-yard gain on that run brings up 2nd and 2. Garnet trying to take the lead. There is Patrick. Paydirt.
Nice cut. Found the open hole. Didn't have to use that power. Could use his burst. Good job up front by R. Eberly and Wilson Bell. Coming right at you and wide open.
First lead of the day for the Garnet.
Ethan Frith with a good block, number 62 from his left tackle position.
PAT attempt for Aguayo is good, and 17-14 with a little over 2 minutes to play means we'll get to see the hurry-up offense directed by Deondre Francois. Still no smile from Jimbo, though.
Not between the white lines, brother.
Well, Auden Tate with a nice first half, and George Campbell now here in the second half on that drive.
Just handed a note. 49,913 the official attendance here.
49,913. That's pretty doggone good. Does that count the players? Because we could push that total over 50, KJ.
And a horse.
And a horse. (17-14) Garnet. .218 to play. Short kickoff, and the Gold will go to work again.
There's that speed from Green. He is unbelievably fast. But obviously they'll bring it back. And here's an opportunity, as you see again, Ryan Green. Here's an opportunity. I don't think Jimbo would necessarily draw. Well, what I'm trying to say is he would draw it up this way, where you've got 2 minutes and 12 seconds at the end of spring with one of the guys that's competing for your starting quarterback position. This is the way you would draw it up and see how he finishes on a 2-minute drill down by 3.
So the Gold will start at the 25-yard line. Francois with back to his right, fakes the handoff to Green, and now tries to scramble, and that hole closes up in a hurry. Jimbo frustrated with Erman Lane on that play. He's barking at the receiver on the near side of the field, and that was Erman. So a loss of 5. That's where Francois wanted to go. Into a tight window. 4 Garnet jerseys around the intended receiver there. And it is incomplete. That's Mike Barelick with a hit.
I think Barelick would like to get his head around just a little bit more, or get a little more of a push back to the inside, and he'd had a pick. Well, Keith, I can tell you before it's over, this is not the way Jimbo wanted this drive to end, or even rather start, and most likely will end.
So 3rd and 15 now. Francois finds Bobo Wilson. He finds a first down out to the 40-yard line.
Prevent defense by the Garnet. They were 3 rushing, 8 dropping, and way too much spacing. And Francois finds a very open Bobo, way too open Bobo.
Yeah, it looked like a busted coverage there, and then Derwin James came up to bounce him out of bounds. Just shy of the 41. Francois handles a off the mark snap, and now loses the football, and that has picked up our first turnover of the day. And the Garnet's got it. Roderick Hoskins. Not our first turnover, first fumble of the day.
Jimbo's going to say, nope, 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 put the ball down, let's continue this. That's one of the prerogatives of the head coach. So it'll go in the stat book as a turnover, but they're going to continue to drive because, again, you want to get this experience as the Gold takes a timeout.
So Francois with a couple of picks early on. That one gets knocked out. Roderick Hoskins has been in the middle of the action on those turnovers a couple of times. It's a linebacker core, Keith, that even though it replaces Terrence Smith,
Reggie Northrup
really has more depth maybe than what it's had recently, and more athletic players overall as a unit.
Plus, one of the things that's changed in the last 3 to 5, 10 years maybe is you normally say, well, we've got to have 3 linebackers. So if we got 2 deep, we got to have 6 linebackers. But in today's reality, you're playing most of your time, 60, 65, 70% of the time, you're just playing with 2 linebackers. So the numbers people look at and have said, look, Florida State's a little light, but that might not necessarily be the case in reality. And certainly the athleticism of this group, they're very inexperienced, they've not been tested, but the athleticism is quite remarkable.
Well, head coach rules, and the ball stays with the Gold here.
check down, get out of bounds.
They rule him out of bounds. I'm not sure that there could have been a better effort there to get out of bounds.
That's my point. You're in 2-minute drill. Get what you can, get out of bounds.
Third down, about 3 yards to go now for the Gold, with $1:20 left here in the spring game in Orlando. Crowd is thin just a little, but great showing by Florida State. All kinds of time. And a first down catch, and still
and
fighting
a nice
to get
effort
out of bounds.
to get out of bounds. Herman Lane, we saw him with catching the ire of Jimbo Fisher. This time he'll get a good check mark. Nice delivery in a tight window. Now watch him struggle to get out of bounds. This is a 2-minute drill. We got to save time. We got to save time, and a nice effort to get the ball outside the playing field. 1:11 left to go. 1st and 10.
Francois again looking downfield, comes underneath inside the 40 and about the 37-yard line goes Ryan Green.
Get to the line, get to the line, get to the line. Save that timeout.
I want to see these 2 guys get up with no help.
2nd and 2. They won't spike it. They're going for the first down, and they've got it. And even with the tackle, they wind the clock, but obviously on the first down, the clock stops until you reset. This time Green to the left. Francois looks left, pulls the trigger.
Oh, there you see that arm strength. He missed him. But my gosh, what a rocket. I think what Jimbo's saying is maybe you wanted to hold that another count and let him get some separation. But we see the talent, Tom. You've seen the ability to make plays. You've seen the freshman make mistakes, the sophomore, redshirt sophomore rather, make mistakes. Redshirt freshman, excuse me, make mistakes. But you see the upside.
In a low snap as it does it hand it off, and Florida State able to make something out of nothing there and get it inside the 25-yard line. So I have a question for you, Keith. You have the rules nearby. Do we play overtime?
Coach's decision. The rules specifically say in the event of a tie, it's Coach Fisher's decision.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a 3rd and about 3, and if Florida State doesn't convert, the Gold that is, then you either go for it or you kick a potential game-tying field goal there. You've seen Francois' skill set, though, so a 3rd and 3. What do you call if you're Jimbo here?
I go with screen. Get the ball to Green in open space. Let him find a way. I haven't kept up with the timeout count. I don't know if our graphic is correct. It technically shows the Garnet with 3, the Gold with 2. I don't know if that's been updated.
Well, we'll see if Jimbo was listening to you or rifling through the multiple pages of that playbook and what he comes up with here on 3rd, and actually we'll call it 4. They'll hand it off, and it is wide open, out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Trips to the left. They run the ball back to the right. A little deception there, at least from a formation standpoint. Defensive end there gets way too far upfield.
Ryan Green with 84 yards rushing today. Well, 20 seconds left, Keith. You got about 4 plays. They'll shoot for the end zone on the first one. What a catch! And a touchdown! And there's your story today at the spring game, Auden Tate.
Well, we talked about what do you get with these larger receivers. The first thing I said, you get efficiency in the red zone. Use that height, use that jumping ability. And this time you see it shown right there. Tate with a wonderful catch, a great spring game for the youngster. How about the throw?
That is a laser. Got the foot down. That was in coverage, or coverage by Tavares McFadden. We'll watch it once more. That is a fastball and a pretty throw for Francois. And so the Gold back on top, 21-17 with 13 ticks left.
And Coach Fisher's exercising his head coaching prerogative again. We won't see a kickoff here. Just give the ball to him, let him go.
Auden Tate, Keith, 2 touchdowns today, 5 catches, 84 yards. And one thing we was talking about last year was FSU's need to find a big target. Maybe he's the guy.
He certainly has made his case here in Orlando. He has been great, has Tate, in this spring game. And those are the things that have been or were expected of him. And now they've become a reality here on a Saturday afternoon in Orlando.
Well, they're going to put a $130 back on the clock, and we'll see what Malik Henry can do. Auden Tate, very nice showing today for Florida State.
All right, a chance to look at Henry in a 2-minute drill. Over in the middle, pickup of 8. To the line quickly, gentlemen. Patrick on the catch.
A little bit of confusion as Henry tries to get them set. Now Kermit Whitfield comes to the near side of the field. Henry again will hit Patrick, and he plows ahead across the 45 up to the 46-yard line.
Much like the Garnet defense, the Gold defense in prevent. 3 down linemen, 8 dropping.
Difference here is down 4. You got to get in the end zone. You can't set up the field goal. Again, Patrick, who catches the ball well, gets another first down, which will stop the clock. Gets out of bounds. A.J. Westbrook on the tackle. That's a load right there.
If you're going to play running back in Jimbo Fisher's offense, you're going to have to catch the ball.
Henry downfield has Rudolph nearly tripped up into the end zone, and the Garnet back on top.
How about that? Nice throw by the freshman. Rudolph, you saw what he could do in the Peach Bowl, 201 yards receiving. Goes up high, catches it in the fingertips, eludes the tackle. 6 for the Garnet. Watch this ball. Step, throw. Bingo.
Herbens Paul tried to get him, but couldn't knock him down. And well, we've saved the fireworks for the final 2 minutes today.
Didn't know they were scheduled, did you?
Well, so Francois is going to get another shot. He just got upstaged by Malik Henry. That's a nice drive for Henry, who's 15 for 22 for 205 yards and a couple touchdowns today. And Rudolph continues, really, when you look back to the way the year ended with that great Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, even though he's been quiet in terms of total receptions, it's a pretty big spot to make a nice catch and put the Garnet back on top.
Well, nearly 1,000 yards receiving last year for him with that Peach Bowl effort. You saw the last 1,000-yard receiver with Scott Kodak a little earlier and Rashad Green, who did it 3 consecutive seasons if memory serves.
Francois once more. That'll be a first down, which will stop the clock to Ryan Green. (24-21).
Timeout, Gold. And don't underestimate the ability to find those checkdowns. They become so important, particularly when defenses are backed up, keeping everything in front of you, taking away the long ball, finding the correct receiver to get the ball to and getting it to him accurately. Very, very important in today's game.
Ryan Green has been busy today, Keith, with his 84 yards rushing.
He's had some catches, too.
5 catches for 41 yards for a guy that missed last year with an injury. Had moved from running back earlier in his career to the defensive side of the ball, but moved back this spring. He's looked comfortable.
Very. Big Rick Leonard right there, number 76 in the gold. I think the upside of him is phenomenal as well. You know about Rod Johnson on the other side.
.35 seconds left as the Garnet is up by 3. Up behind Green, who didn't look like he got his head around in time for that one as Francois was off the mark. Roderick Hoskins, the nearest defender.
Not so sure that Green wasn't supposed to settle right there, and that's the reason the ball was behind him.
Izzo gets decleated there. Got his hands on it. Nick Patty with a big shot.
Well, that's a linebacker getting about 20, 22 yards deep. I tell you, the prevent that the Garnet is in. Not a bad throw right here. Just a little bit tall for Izzo.
So Francois facing 3rd and 10 and running out of time. Lane with the catch will bring up 4th and short. About 2 yards to go.
I think the goal will take their 9th timeout of the second half, or however many Jimbo wants them to have.
The 2-minute drill is easier if you have unlimited timeouts.
I think technically this is their 3rd. I embellish slightly. Apologies.
Which quarterbacks look more impressive to you, Keith?
Francois. Although Malik has held his own, Francois has just shown that upside. Got to eliminate the mistakes. Got to make sure you know when to do certain things, when not to take chances. That'll come with time. But overall, I've been impressed with both. And I think it shapes up for a pretty interesting quarterback battle in the fall when McGuire rejoins them.
So 4th and 3, and the spring game comes down to this. Although I thought that a couple of moments ago, and we've seen 2 touchdowns since then.
All dependent upon what the HC wants.
4th and 3. You can see the sticks at the top of your screen. They've got to get to the 42. And
guess who?
Auden Tate once more. The cushion there was humongous from the defense, and an easy conversion.
Okay, I was wrong. This is their 3rd timeout. Again.
Well, as you talk storylines, I think Auden Tate certainly at the top of the list.
You wanted one of these big receivers to emerge. Again, you knew what you had in the 3 upperclassmen. You wanted one of these youngsters, these big, talented youngsters, to elevate, to distance themselves, to put some space between they and their competitors. And I think you've seen that happen with Tate.
All right, we're going to have a field goal to try and tie this thing up. 46-yarder. It is a low kick, but it's good. 24 all our score.
And with 10 seconds left, I think that'll do it. Again, the head coach's prerogative.
So this one is in the books. Nobody goes home truly happy, but nobody goes home truly upset. We've got ourselves a tie at the spring game, 24 apiece. A pressure kick converted. It wasn't pretty, but you don't get style points. You do get 3 points, and we finish up at 24 all. You mentioned Auden Tate, other guys that jumped out at you today in terms of their performance, Keith.
I thought Rick Leonard and Rod Johnson solidified themselves at the tackle positions. You didn't talk about Johnson much because he wouldn't let his guy get anywhere. You saw Ryan Green show some of the flashes that why they wanted to move him back to the running back position. I'm not terribly worried about the defenses giving up 48 points. You had some kids out, and plus this is a defense that will get just better over time. I think it was a very, very enjoyable to watch spring game. I think the coaches will be pleased, and I think you saw some kids elevate themselves.
Well, why don't we get the opinion from that matters most, and that's the opinion of Jimbo Fisher. He's standing by with our Scott Kotick right now. Scott?
Yeah, Tom, thanks. Jimbo, just talk about what you saw overall. I mean, the last part of the game there, the quarterbacks flashed what you probably thought all spring they could do.
We did, and I was proud of them during the game. There's going to be ups and downs, and the game, the momentum flows and how you got to change it. There was good and bad, but that's part of that. They have to go through that experience, and then at the end, there's ways to win the game. We want to give ourselves as many 2-minute situations as we could. That was great to see Malik go down there. Great to see DeAndre respond right back after he made a great throw and to get us ahead down there and come back, and it was great to get the field goal, and Ricky made a big kick.
You had talked all spring about flashes of greatness this team could show. You wanted to see consistency. Did you end up seeing that today?
Not enough. I mean, but you never do in spring. You know what I'm saying? But you saw what we can be and what we have to work on, and that's the key coming out of spring. But there's tons of hope as far as what we can really, really do, and if they just get consistent with what they're doing. But they shouldn't be yet. You know what I mean? 15 practices, a lot of young players, but I was pleased with the way we end up spring.
And finally, Coach, let's talk about off-season. You finally get to that point now. What do your guys need to do to get ready for the fall?
Well, we got to have a great off-season as far as conditioning. Got to get in our books, do the things we got to do, and get everybody healthy. Get into fall camp with all. We had 21 guys out of this game, which that's part of it. Get those young freshmen in here, and I think we got a chance to have a good football team.
Coach, thanks again. Right back here, September against Ole Miss.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All righty, thank you very much, Scott. And Jimbo, that looks like a Jimbo to me that was more pleased than displeased. Keith, I'll let you react to that after we come back with some final thoughts. A 24-all tie between the Garnet and the Gold here in Orlando. A 24-all tie here in the spring game. Keith Jones, all in all, a success for Florida State.
Trajectory is upward. A great spring. Evidenced by the tie. Everybody wins. You get into summer camp, into fall camp on a positive note.
A lot of upside with all these young players for Florida State as well. For Scott Kotick, Keith Jones, our entire crew, it was a Florida State afternoon in the City Beautiful. So long from the Orlando Citrus Bowl. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you again right back here to kick off the 2016 season.